Well, hello friends, Mark Holmes here, and as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Jobu Sports Report. Without you guys, man, this literally does not work. You know, last night we had a ball in the man cave having Vosh over, E2Blu, DMV, Dallas Cowboys, and Michael Anthony Fitness. We were throwing down on some Jobu wings and just had a good time, although Vosh is like, well, where's the bang bang shrimp? It's like, you know, dude, you're pushing a little bit. You're drinking my whiskey, you got the wings, maybe next time we'll get the shrimp. But it was apparent we got into a deep discussion about steak. And E2Blu, come on, man. E2, my God, said he likes his steak well done. And it's like, dude, if you need well done, eat chicken. Okay? So we got into this deep discussion and everything else about how to cook steak because Vosh is like, man, I finally learned about medium rare. Well, here's the thing. Because E2 was saying, well, you know, it's got blood running. It's not blood running out. That's just juice, okay? Because here's the thing. You end up doing that well-done steak. It's just kind of like rubber. You really like it. I like mine medium. You know, I like it, that center just red, but a warm red center. And he's like, yeah, but you're going to get germs and get E. coli and stuff. Now, here's the thing. You want to eat your hamburgers well done. Because here's the difference. The E. coli stuff does not penetrate inside of the meat. It lives on the outside of it. But the difference is if you have a cow, and they literally take thousands of cows and grind the meat up, it only takes one cow to go ahead and contaminate hundreds of thousands of pounds of meat. Steak, on the other hand, once you get it hot on the outside of it, it's killed any of that bacteria. And it locks that juice in there. So you really want to get it to about 135 degrees. I'm telling you. So get yourself a meat thermometer. Now I'm going to show you exactly what I do with my steaks. Now, again, this is the way I cook it and everything else. You may be a chef at this place, that place, or whatever. You may like it a little bit different, but this is what works for me. Now, personally, you know, a lot of people like to have their filet mignon. Nothing wrong with filet mignon. It's tender as can be, you know. It's like butter. But it doesn't have a marble. It does not have that fat to it, so it does not have a great taste. Now me, I love prime rib. Oh my God, prime rib. Even the fat on prime rib is good. Oh, and I love ribeye steaks. You see this? Okay. Now E2, it seemed like when we were talking last night, you were thinking that you're just going to eat your steak just like this. Come on, man. That's not the way it is. It's going to be red or kind of pink on the inside, but it's not going to be raw like this. But here's what I do. Because steak will take on the flavor of what you really put onto it. Now, what I like to do is, I like to take the steaks a couple hours ahead of time. And I like to take some balsamic vinegar. Balsamic vinegar is not like regular vinegar. It's got a sweet taste because it's actually aged in oak barrels. So I'm going to pour some balsamic vinegar on top of them. Let me move the camera down so you can see this. Pour some balsamic vinegar on top of them. And then I love my Worcestershire sauce, and I probably mispronounced that, but sorry, my dyslexia sometimes messes with me. Worcestershire, it's the stuff that's wrapped with paper around it. And I'm not talking about liquor bottle. And then some red wine. So we put all of these on here. And what these are going to help do is break down some of the fibers that are in there. Now, this is me. Again, this is the way I like mine because I just absolutely positively love chipotle chili powder. It is just like the best flavor in the world. Has kind of a burnt taste to it. So I'll go ahead and put a little bit of that on there. Then I'll take Montreal steak seasoning. I love that because it's got like the garlic, it's got the pepper and stuff in there as well. And then, a pinch of coffee. Flip that over and then do the same thing on the other side. Make sure that you get that juice on there. Oh boy. And I like it thick. Get a spoon so I get some more of that juice on top of it. This will give it an incredible taste to it. Now, another thing else, almost forgot. Fresh ground pepper. Now, when you cook it, I like to cook it on the grill. And you want to get that grill about 500 degrees. You want that sucker hot. So that way it sears it. Because if you cook it too slow, what happens is it dries out. It ends up pulling out all the juice and it's just not tender. So again, put a little pinch of coffee. Montreal seasoning. And I don't like, personally, salt a whole lot, but you still got to put a little bit. That's it. So we're going to take this, we're going to put it in the fridge, let it just kind of marinate. We'll flip them over one more time and stuff to make sure that it gets nice and wet on both sides. And then we're going to cook it on the grill. It's going to be flavorful. It's going to be good. All right. All right, so we've got our steaks, E2. Now take a look. These have been actually marinating for a couple of hours here. Had to wait. We had some thunderstorms that came through and didn't want to be out here with, of course, the metal poles. It'd be kind of shocking. So here's what we've done. We got our grill at 500 degrees. We got this sucker hot as hell. We're going to go ahead and get our steaks on here. Now here, E2. What you want your temperature at for like medium rare, which is like a warm red center, is at 135 degrees. After you get past that, it starts getting, kind of well done. Now here, this is like one of these real simplistic, thermometers here where you just stick it in and it'll read the temperatures. And this is actually another one that I have that I use when I do my barbecue, because I can go ahead and put this on here and this will be out there all day long, and it has an alarm that'll go and let you know when it's done. So in case you forget, this is definitely better long term. Either one of these will do. But now, the other thing you got to know, let me get these on the grill here real quick, and then I'll talk some more. Look at that heat rising off that sucker. Woo! Nice thick steak. I'm going to put those on for a minute and let those sear, and then I'm going to just turn them just a little bit so that way we get those nice cross sections. Hold on, let me grab my spatula. So that way we get those sear marks. Now what you want to do, and I apologize because I got this, it's kind of dark out here and I got maybe too much light. What you want to do is you don't want to just keep flipping and flipping and flipping and all that. You want this thing to get seared real quick. That's why we got that high temperature on here right now. So that way it'll lock in those juices. And you're going to cook it so it gets hot on the outside. And the key thing is, this is key. Don't eat it immediately. Let it rest. Because what happens is if you cut a steak or a roast or something while it's hot, all the juices run out and what's left is rubber. You want those juices to kind of warm and coagulate and stuff in there together so that way it's nice and red. So again, this is going to be about 5 minutes on each side with these steaks, maybe give or take a few minutes, because these are about that thick. These are like cowboy steaks. Now what I tell you, one other thing I like to do too is you don't have to season steak like I do, but I like to get that extra flavor and stuff in there. Sometimes I got to tell you what's really, really good with red meat is rosemary and thyme and fresh garlic. If you go ahead and take some rosemary and thyme, and that's where I've got, all my spice plants and stuff out here, chop up some of that, put it in with some garlic and stuff with just the Worcestershire sauce, that's going to give you like this springy taste to it, which is real good. This has kind of an earthy, because of the chipotle peppers on it, kind of an earthy, sweet taste with the balsamic vinegar that's on there. And what I like to do with this ribeyes is actually slice it up and make like a steak salad with doing my keto diet. So let me go ahead and look at that. Oh, can you guys see that? That's it. Yeah, so we're getting some sear marks. We're going to go ahead and turn that just a little bit. Woo. Now, this grill right here, not the best grill in the world. It's an inexpensive one. I want to replace it because it doesn't get and hold the heat the way I would really like to. So I'm working on rebuilding my cabinets, and maybe by the end of the summer, before the season starts, I'm going to get a really big, heavy duty, you know, let's cook a whole cow size char grill, but it's going to be good. So we're going to go ahead and wait. We've been here for, actually this is great because I got a timer right here. We're going to let that cook for a few more minutes, and then we're going to flip it over. And one of the tests that you can do with telling how done it is actually if you see the juice coming out of the top, that means it's getting that's past medium. That means the juice and stuff is getting out of there, and it's getting darker and darker on the inside. So if you see that, take it off, run quick. Don't let it cook anymore because you killed it. Another thing you can do before that is just kind of do a finger test. If you push it and it starts getting rubbery, then that means it's done, okay? If it ends up pushing and it goes in, that means it's still raw in the middle of it. So take those tips, E2. I don't want you messing up. Don't invite me over for dinner and you serve steak that's overcooked. Take a peek. Let's take a peek. Ooh, Nelly. Okay, so it's been about 5 minutes, and we're gonna go ahead and take, oh, look at these guys. Oh my goodness, look at look. Let's get a little closer here, fellas. Ooh wee. We're gonna go ahead and flip these over. Look at that. Oh. And here's what we're gonna do, E2. We're gonna take this. We're gonna put that sucker in there. So we know when we get to 135 degrees. And as you can see, right now it's at 73, 72. Now again, these work really, really well too, because these are nice because you can program it for poultry, pork and all that, because everything has a little bit different temperature and things. And you know, you're good to go. But the nice thing with this one is, like I said, it lights up. Yeah, I've literally had this thing plugged in port shoulders for 18 hours straight, so the batteries last a real good time. And you can see I've got it actually set at 135 degrees right there. So we've got a ways to go. So in the meantime, it's just kick back and relax time. You know, in fact, heck, could go get a drink. Went from 70, we're up to 76. Counting down. You know I'm big on countdown clocks. Actually, I could put a little hook over here and just like have it hanging. The nice thing about this one too is because you can actually plug it into it. Look at that. Look at that. 78. What's nice about this one is you can plug it in. You can use it in the kitchen and all that, and you don't have to keep opening and poking it. Because if you go through and you keep going in and poking and poking and poking, you're not really tenderizing it. What you're doing is you're making access points for the juice to run out of it. Look at it ticking up. 83. Ooh wee, ooh wee. 84. Oh my goodness. It's happening so fast right here in real time. 85. Oh, 86. Our 82. The time has now come. Take a look down here and you'll see our babies. These bad boys, we're going to go ahead and take off and let them rest. Look at that. Ooh, look at that. Tell me that doesn't look, oh, doesn't that look good? Ah. Got to remember to turn all the gas off because, well, I forget to and end up coming out next time and got no gas left. So we're going to go inside, let these rest for a couple minutes, and then we're going to cut and see how they look. All right, so here's the moment of truth. There is our steaks right there. Ooh, my goodness, they look good, don't they? Okay, so we've let them rest for a couple minutes, E2. We're going to take one, and you can see, look, When you talk about flavor, look, you see that? That is the juice. That's not blood. That is, look at that. Look at that juice that's slowly working its way out. And if you cut the steak too soon, all that just runs out, and then what you're left is blood. So let's check out one of these steaks. We're gonna cut it open right now.
No, it's not sharks, but it's mosquito because of malaria. And who's having more cases of malaria in India than anyone else? It's not sharks.
There we go.
But it's not Brave Ant either. It's the Dutch company Naira.
That E2 is what you want your steak to look like. If you have it more done than that, then there's something wrong with you. Mm. The flavor in that, it's juicy, it's flavorful. Look, you can see it's still moist on the outside. Mm. And here's the thing about keto diet, you want the fat. So even, oh, delish. So, E2, come on back by, and I'll show you how to make a really tasty steak. I'm Mark Holmes, and as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, and subscribing to the Jobu Sports Report. Without you, it does not work. I'll see you guys soon.